Good morning, everyone. This is Curtis Hawks over here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. And I want to thank everybody for taking some time with us today to be on the call. We've got a really important topic today, and we are talking about the top of the sales funnel and how can we help you generate a more consistent flow of prospects coming into your sales funnel. As we all know, and I think most of the advisors that we work with, we're very growth minded. And so trying to figure out ways to create that consistency in the prospect flow. There's a direct correlation to that and consistency in the app count and ultimately revenue that you're generating. And so we've got a special guest with us today, and we'll be doing a deep dive on that. Before we get going into that, though, I did want to take a couple of minutes to talk about some of the additional ways that IAMS is here to help add value to your business. One of the ways that we do that is through our new producer builders. And so you can see up there, I have a variety of point totals. And so if you're a new producer to IAMS, if you've just started working with us, you can see as you produce business with us that you can qualify for a variety of different things up there, whether that is marketing dollars, whether that is an iPad or trips. We've got a variety of different things up there. And so what I would also tell you too is customization is a core component of who IAMS is. And so if you happen to be maybe doing something that's working really, really well for you and want to talk about customizing that a little bit, reach out, talk to one of the sales directors over here. They're more than happy to chat with you about that. That phone number is 800-255-5055. In addition to that, we've got a referred producer program. For those of you that currently work with us, if you know of an agent who maybe isn't quite happy with their current relationship or you think they might be a good fit for us, send them our way. Not only will you get a $50 bonus when that agent gets contracted, but then on an ongoing basis, you will continue to earn revenue based off of their production. You don't have to do anything. We'll take care of all the service and support for that advisor. And it's a great way to generate extra income for yourself. In fact, what I would tell you is when we look at that, some of the biggest checks we write are off of our referred producer program. So marketing reimbursement, you can see that up there. So for every 100,000 of qualifying FIA premium, you'll get an additional $100 of marketing reimbursement. And then for every 100,000 of single premium life, you'll get 200, and every 10,000 of target life premium, you'll get $200 as well. And so it's our way of helping invest back into your business. So in addition to offering very successful marketing programs, which is what we're going to spend the bulk of our time talking about today, we also help provide operating capital to invest in those programs and help develop your business. Back office support. So I feel like there's really been in recent years a spotlight put on this. As we see carriers slow down or bottleneck or what have you, I think it really does put a spotlight on the importance of having a really good team at your IMO, whether it's at the beginning stages with sales support and case design and illustration to your new business teams here, pushing to get things through the pipeline as quickly as possible. So I would tell you, if you haven't tested out our back office support, I would definitely encourage you to do it because I feel like we do that better than most. In addition to that, we've got our IAMS website. Technology is a core theme. In fact, we're going to be talking a lot about technology today with this marketing system. But it's a core theme of who IAMS is. And so our website, you'll find if you're contracted with us, you can get logged in there. There's a variety of tools and resources on there, whether it's running quotes for annuities or life insurance, e-applications. In addition to that, all of our current rates are on there. We also have our sales resource library, which I think is a huge benefit because we've got over 500 point of sale pieces in there, and they range from something like life insurance basics and annuity basics to split dollar and premium finance and everything in between. So there's a lot of good point of sale pieces that you can instantly download to meet with your clients about. In addition to that, with the technology thing, we do integrate with Firelight. We also integrate with iPipeline as well. You can see here that we make it very easy to be able to utilize our website and do e-applications for any of your life and annuity business. And if you have questions on that, how to use that, reach out, talk to a sales director over here. That number is 800-255-5055. We also have our creative department. And I think creative really is the key word. And I want to take a moment and talk about this for a minute. Um, our team here at IAMS on the creative side, their sole goal is to help showcase the best version of you. Um, Business has changed. It has evolved. It used to be in your local marketplace that you were competing against other local advisors, and that's where you wanted to develop your brand. But one of the things that we've seen over the last few years is that things have gone national. More and more advisors are meeting with people virtually. More and more people are willing to engage with advisors virtually. More advisors are expanding out their networks, and so I think it's more important now than ever that you have a solid brand that is strong across multiple verticals. Your website looks good, your marketing, all those types of things. And so with IAMS, you get an amazing team. You get an amazing team of people that can help you on social, on web, on video, on content, on articles, you name it, and they just specifically focus on the financial services space. Um, and the other thing I would mention to you on that as well is I know a lot of advisors, they want to grow. They have a sense in their mind of what are some components there to help them grow, but they're not sure about how do I piece together the whole puzzle. One of the things that we do have available for our advisors is our custom marketing analysis process, and this is where our team of experts sit down with you, go through what does the business look like right now, what do you want it to look like, and then what are the things that we think need to be a part of your overall marketing plan to accomplish those objectives. And so we'll put together a customized marketing plan for you, absolutely free. There's no cost associated with it. And so we just wrapped up the first quarter. And so if you're looking at the rest of the year and you've got some questions about that, reach out, talk to a sales director over here, and they can certainly get one of those scheduled for you. IAMS Wealth Management. We do have an RIA platform. We've seen significant growth in this area. I think that's a trend that we're going to continue to see, where advisors see the value in incorporating AUM into their business. And so what I would tell you is if you've got questions on that, or you have interest in having a conversation about that, reach out, talk to Duncan and the team over there. They're more than happy to talk to you about how they operate, how they can help, all those types of things. Life and Annuity Academies. So we are very excited about our upcoming events this year. When you're out in the field, you're spending time working in your business, and you're dealing with a variety of things from prospecting and marketing to clients to carriers to all those types of things. Our Life and Annuity Academies are really your opportunity to spend some time working on your business. And so we put together, I think, very top of the market events. In fact, I'm going to launch the first of 3 polls here. So let me get this up here. But we cover everything from best practices when it comes to marketing, prospecting, some of the top sales concepts that are out there, some of the best products that are out there. We talk about industry trends. We've got a variety of top producers that we bring out to these events to talk about what's working in their practice, what's not working, what are components of success. Those can be big things, they can be small things. In fact, we've got our upcoming academy here at the end of April, where part of what we talk about is something as simple as yellow pad concepts and articulating and phrasing things in certain ways to elicit the right response from that consumer to get them to emotionally connect with the recommendations that you're making. In fact, Clifford, and I'll talk about him here in a couple of minutes, he comes out to these events and does training on seminars, seminar best practices, and things that you can incorporate into your marketing to generate higher success. So I'll go ahead and get this shut down here. But what I would tell you is we're going to be doing events over the course of the year. If you have interest in these, reach out, talk to a sales director, because they do fill up very, very fast. So when we open this up, and we're actually opening up the invitation for the next event that we're going to be doing, they fill it very quickly. So make sure you talk to a sales director and express interest in that. We've talked a lot about all the benefits of working with IAMS and training and support and all those types of things. but part of what we like to do is have a good time. And part of that is rewarding our top producers. And so you can see there, we've got our Seaside Sanctuary incentive trip that's coming up in April of next year. Great opportunity to get together with your peers and really have an experience of a lifetime. And so we are right in the heart of qualification. If you have questions on how to qualify or where you're at in the standings, reach out, talk to a sales director over here. Also, I would mention that we do have the standings on the website once you log in as well. So that's another area where you can go and take a look at that. Last, I would mention, like and follow us on our social media profiles, Facebook and LinkedIn. That's where we put push the bulk of our content out. But we've got posts every single day, whether it's rate changes, whether it's marketing strategies, industry news, you name it. It's a great way to get additional information through us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to launch one more poll here real quick before we get into the meat of what we're talking about, and that is, do you currently use seminar marketing for lead generation? Because that's a lot of what we're going to talk about today is seminar lead gen and some of the benefits to incorporating that in your practice, and then a very unique system that we've worked to develop in order to generate that consistent flow of prospects for you. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about the results today that we've seen so far over the first quarter, because what I can tell you is we've really been knocking it out of the park. We've really seen some amazing results so far, and so we'll spend some time talking about how you can incorporate this into your practice. So let me go ahead and close this down real quick, and then I am going to get this switched over here. So with us today, I've got Mr. Clifford Blodgett. And, I spend a lot of time in the digital marketing arena. I mean, that's a core element of who we are and how we provide support for our advisors. And so one of the things that's critically important to me for our commitment to all of you is making sure that I'm going out and finding some of the best people in the industry to help provide support and help generate results for you. And Clifford, I can tell you, is one of the most knowledgeable individuals I've met in the industry when it comes to digital marketing, advertising, et cetera. And so we've worked with him and the IAMS team over here to develop safe money events. And so Clifford, I appreciate you taking some time with us today to kind of give us a deep dive on the system and how it works and talk a little bit about what we're seeing out there, because it really has been amazing thus far. So Clifford, with that, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Curtis. It has been amazing. We've seen some great numbers. We've had a great 2023 so far, and we've had great advisor feedback, and we've had just some really impressive milestones that we've hit just in the 4 months since we've started talking about this product and we started rolling this product out. And essentially, Safe Money Marketing or Safe Money Events is phase one of what IAMS and Safe Money Marketing is trying to create. So event lead generation, educational event lead generation, dinner seminar lead generation, and then we're going to talk about a few other pieces as well that we've added to the repertoire that we've had some success with this year already as well. The product that we're bringing to IAMS and we're bringing to the advisors is a ever evolving one. Our goal was to bring the dinner in the event, and you're going to see in this presentation how we've already evolved twice and added a few new pieces, and how we're continuing to build on that feedback that we get from advisors, that feedback that we get from agents, and what we can add to and make this your own. That's the goal here, is to make, Curtis mentioned custom programs and customizing your business. We want to plug into your business and give you this custom tool that you can bring to your events and your follow-ups, and pretty much your digital marketing is our goal at some point to help you with those pieces. So today we're going to talk about some dinner seminars. We're going to talk about educational events. And then I got a surprise for you. We're going to talk about some movie theater pieces that are really hot right now as well. So like I've said before, dinner seminars, pick a time, pick a place, get on the phone, get on the horn, find your favorite restaurant, find your favorite place to do an event, complete our questionnaire. We use our brand, the My Path to Retirement brand, and watch your registrations or registrants add up. So we literally will put you in touch with our dashboard, and you can just see the registrants as they come in real time, add up through there. So here's an example, or here's some examples of the My Path to Retirement ads that we're putting out there. Lots of video ads. Video ads have been by far our highest performers. So how do we get people who have watched those ads and then get them to the registration screens? That's been something that's been very important to us in 2023. So what's included in these programs? There's a registration page, confirmation emails, email and text reminders, Facebook generated leads for the most part. If you do opt into the second and the third levels, there's other like mediums that we go out into. We love to use the Google Ad Network. We have a safe money retargeting strategy that we use for the $34.99 as well. There's a thank you page that's included. There's access to the Safe Money Leads dashboard, and then there's scripted presentations that are included in there. And I'm going to go through each one of these and give you a visual representation of what they are and what you can look forward to having, your name involved with as well. Here's an example of a registration page. So when the person or when the prospect clicks on the event ad, this is the page they're driven to. So here we've got a Papa Do's down in Beaumont, Texas. I see that Timothy Romero is on here. So this is Tim's event here. Dates, times, he picked the topic. We put his bio, it's at the bottom. You can't see it on this one, but it is there. And then any additional disclosures that you want. These pages have been tested many, many times over. We're constantly A/B testing headlines, clicks. I have a program on here that watches where where the mouse and the eyes go to on the page, how they scroll through here, and I watch those, and my team watches those things to make these pages perform better. Right now, we're at about a 10 to 14% conversion rate for these pages, which is amazing. Most cold outreach, anytime you get between 2 and 3%, that's what we're, that's pretty good. But we're performing at a 10 to 14% conversion rate from these pages. So definitely keeping an eye on those and making them better for our advisors. What also is included is a hybrid confirmation sequence. So the registration is made. So we start over here with the made. We add the text message and the registrant email sent. So boom, somebody registers, we send them an email that has the date, the times, how to add it to their calendar, and how to get there. It has the directions on it as well in case they forget, and then they're in their phone looking for it later. We also send a text message right away that has a link that has the technology in it, where if they click on it, it adds it right to their Android or their Apple calendar, whatever's on their phone. Some nice pieces there. And then we get into the kind of this like the middle part where it's the advisor reach out process. And I want to spend a little time here because this seems to be the biggest question that I have when it comes to explaining safe money events and what we're doing here. You'll see that over on the right hand side we have one day until the event, we send out an email, and the day of we send a text message that has also a link to the directions in it, and it says, hey, we're hoping you look forward to it. But that's kind of at the very, very end. So in that middle part, what are advisors doing to get those attendance rates up? If nothing's done between our emails at the beginning and our emails at the end, we get about 20% of the people show up, and that's concerning. So it's in that middle part that we have to have advisors reach out, talk to these people and make it real. You know, we have to remember that from the prospect's point of view here at this point, there's nothing real about this. It was like, I signed up for an event, sounds like a good dinner, sounds like a great educational event. Maybe it sounds like a movie I want to see. Okay. But how do I make it real? How do I make the people fall in love with, you know, Clifford or Tim or, you know, or any of the other people that are in here, and start to put their picture or their voice to this event. So reaching out, if it's just, you know, even a simple confirmation call, hey, we're looking forward to seeing you. You know, on the page, we talk about taxes and retirement. What are your biggest questions? I'm going to get them written down so the advisor has them, you know, so the advisor can address that at your event. Or I see that you signed up for our Social Security event. What questions do you have ahead of time so I can make sure that the advisor knows what they're, you know, simple questions that you can ask in that confirmation call sequence to make it seem like it's something that you're doing for the prospect or for the registrant, to make it more than just an event that they're going to. And that's, you know, the middle part there is probably one of the most important things. That's where we see attendance rates go from 20% to 60 to 65%, right? So the people that handle it well, you know, will get around 40 to 45% of the registrants show up, and past that, you know, are the people that do it very well. We know that out of 100 registrants, 30 of them are going to be people that didn't really plan on attending in the first place, fake emails, competitors, those type of pieces. So out of those 70, how do we get the most out of that? And so this is the most important part here. We also have available in here is confirmation call service. So if it's, you know, 48 hours after they call the person within 48 hours, and they can ask those kind of questions as well. They've been doing this for a long time. I've worked with this group for over 6 years. They've got great prompts, and they get people to answer. You know, they'll leave voicemails, they'll call up to 5 times, and they also they will text and email as well if we ask them to. So they'll take that advisor reach out process for you and make it a reality. There's an onboard. They want to know you so they can talk about you, but it's a nice little piece if that's just not your thing. I get it. It's not for everybody, and we kind of understand that. What also is included is these paid media placements. So here's a couple of examples of our Facebook ads. So leveraging target. Essentially, I'm going to take the area that your event's in, draw like a circle around that 10 miles. It depends on the area. Sometimes, we get a little disjointed and whatever. So, I had an event in Knoxville. So it was like kind of like the city kind of goes like this. So, we were targeting people to come down. I look at wealth maps and I look at population density to make sure that we're getting the right layers and the right income points that we can have that. Facebook no longer does the demographic points of income. However, there's still the ability to find that on wealth maps and geographical areas and kind of like getting to know the city. We also look at where interstates and major roads are, because sometimes you might have a corridor that you can target because from your event as well, because it might just be like right off the interstate. The majority of what we do, probably 85 to 90%, is Facebook ads. I'm going to take that back as meta ads. So meta includes Instagram, Facebook, and in a few other third-party places that they use it as well. But after that, we do use some YouTube. We do have some Google Performance Max that we like to use. And we do have a 3-tier retargeting network that leverages people who maybe have watched 3, 5, 7 seconds of a video but haven't signed up. I'm going to go after those 5, 7, 3, I'm going to go after those people a lot more because they've watched the video. And then after that, I'm like, well, something in that video sparked their interest. Let's keep hitting them with more ads. I'm going to pay more money for that kind of target it versus a cold ad. What also is included is this thank you page, and essentially after the prospects register, they're directed here. So a reminder of the date and time, directions, and an add to calendar. So this would be for a desktop, or if it's on your phone, you click that add to calendar, it goes right to your iCal, it goes right to your Android or your Gmail calendar, and it adds the event. So nice pieces there to kind of go to kind of push that person further and further into the registration or into the attendance process as well. All right, what also is included? Our seminar dashboard. So this is a central repository to all the campaign and event data. You can leave notes with your team in here, and it's your space to kind of, to work within your team to be like, this is where the confirmation calls, this is where the questions are, and you can, and it's yours, and you can download the leads. If you want to, you can just download the leads and put them into an Excel sheet. That's your call. I've had some people use that, but I included on this one a screenshot of someone who went to the next step, and this is their, assistant working that list and calling and getting confirmations, or if it's a duplicate, or if they, sometimes you'll call people and you'll hear something that you're like, maybe this event just isn't right for you. And this is where the cancellations would also get recorded and get moved to. So a nice job here of one of our past orders of using the dashboard, making a central data repository for their events, and showing that off. Like I mentioned before, we've got content that's included. So we've got a Social Security, a retirement income planning, and a taxes and retirement presentation already for you. They are insurance only compliant. I'm sure they'll be fine through an RIA or whatever, but just make sure that you submit them so you don't get into trouble for that. But essentially, if you want that presentation, let us know. Let me, or on the IAMS side, Julie, or whoever you talk to on the marketing team over there. And then, let's work to make it yours. So let's add your bio, let's add your headshot, let's add your logo. So when you go in there, it's ready for you to present. So I always advise advisors, the whole thing about digital to personal to getting to, the kitchen table conversations is making sure that you have all of, or you can make it personal. So telling a story about yourself or having a picture of your family at the beginning of the presentation, those all help get people more engaged in your presentation. You've got 45 minutes, and within the first 90 seconds, they're making an opinion about you, whether they like you or not, or whether they'll do business with you, or whether they'll even return your phone call. So what can we do to, to get you to that point, faster? And this presentation helps you, but there's also pieces that we can add to it to make it even better. So I mentioned this before, but what's not included is that confirmation call sequence. So just the phone sequence part. So I like to take that opportunity to introduce yourself, confirm your registrants, leave a voicemail if you want to, or like I mentioned before, the call centers are available for $400 per campaign. That option is listed in the questionnaire that we share with you at the end. So you'll be going through it, and it says, do you want the call centers? Yes or no? And if you say yes, then it'll automatically charge $400 at the end, and then we'll take care of it with the call centers and get them all set up. All right, from there, we pivot from our dinner seminars to an educational event. I'll be honest with you, it's the same chassis that we're building on. It's just a little different in the ads and what we share on the landing page. But again, registration page, confirmation emails, text reminders, scripted presentation, Facebook generated ads, and then if you buy the other layers, we go from that. I forget to mention this about Facebook ads because people are always like, well, why are you so tied into Facebook? Okay. 70% of people over 55 spend at least 2 hours a week on Facebook. That's more time than they watch the news. That's more time than they watch TV sometimes. So we are meeting them in the new, medium that folks are involved in, whether it's on their phone, whether it's on their laptop or their tablet. 55 and over spend 2 hours or more on Facebook. Well, those are the people that we're targeting, so that's why we see numbers like we do. That's why we spend so much time in those Facebook generated ads. If you throw in Instagram, especially for women, the number goes up to about 6 hours a week that they spend. A woman over 55 on Instagram then spends another 2 to 3 hours on Instagram as well. So it's, we're meeting the people where they are, and we're putting a nice message out in front of them that's hopefully addressing a concern that maybe they have, or maybe they'll have in the future. All right, we talk about educational events, and now we're going to talk about our newest addition to the platform, which is movie theater events. Okay, I'm sure you guys have heard Tom Hagna and his Baby Boomer Dilemma movie. He, has been doing it. It's a Doug Orchard movie. It has an MPA rating, so it's a legit movie. Well, I mean, legit. That sounds anyway. So you find a theater, you reserve the movie, and then we take care of the lead generation. So, all of the theater chains all over the country are hurting for money. They like to do these private events because it's just like a surge of money, and essentially you rent the theater. They range from anywhere from $500 to $1,500 a night to register or to reserve a theater. Usually it's about 70 to 100 seats included with that. We've also done events where they've done it at more like local theaters, or they've done it at like one of those dine-in movie theaters as well. Lovely event space to do that. But essentially, you're getting the movie from Doug Orchard. There's two different movies that he has: the Baby Boomer Dilemma and The Power of Zero. And then we take care of the lead generation. So registration page, thank you page, confirmation emails, Facebook generated, and access to the leads dashboard. We are finding huge numbers in these lead generation pieces. The last event, or the last one that we did, had 230 registrants. I'll share the numbers on one of these upcoming pages. And essentially, you're leaving the whole selling process to Nobel Prize winners, economists, published authors in the retirement income space, right? Like they are the ones that are coming out and saying what the event is, or what you should be looking at and all that. So the prospect sits there, they listen to all this, and then they come back to you and like, well, can you help me with these issues? And you're like, yeah, I can do that. So a nice way to build rapport, a nice way to open the door. Essentially, I think the only fallback that I'm seeing across the industry, and people are talking about this, is the show up rate is lower than a dinner event or an educational event. Sometimes it's anywhere between 20 to 25 people. But if you have a list of 100 people and 25 show up, you still have a list of 100 people, right? So knowing that going in, that your attendance rates are a little further out, when you have 230 registrants and you have 70 seats, that's about where you want to be. That's, if you have a 25% show up rate, you're going to fill that room as well. So that's, kind of like the piece that we have there. Again, you go to the website, you sign up for it, but it's on the advisor to contact the movie theater and to contact Doug Orchard, and you buy a public screening license. So you get to run the show for one time. He sends you a hard drive, or he sends you a Blu-ray copy of the movie, depending on what the movie theater needs, and you go from there. So he has a pretty once you call him, or once you reserve the movie, he has a pretty good process over there of making sure that you have what you have and asking the movie theater what they need to run the movie. And it's a pretty easy process after that. There's also some videos out there that he talks about how to go through and what to ask them, and go through that as well. Like I said, this is also, I'm going to add Clifford's tip here at this. This is also a great way to warm up old registrants. You've got a list from webinars, you've got lists from other dinner events, you've got lists from all that, you know, for 500 bucks, we will take that list and we will send emails out, on your behalf, to also push people to those events as well. It's a great way to warm up your old registrants who maybe had some kind of objection at the time, but it's a good way to get back in front of them, give them a movie, give them an event from that, and get back in front of them as well. 2 different movies, Baby Boomer Dilemma and The Power of Zero. I'm seeing that the Baby Boomer Dilemma is pulling better than The Power of Zero, but that's, I think both can be done well. Here's an example of some of the numbers we've had through the first of the year, like Curtis mentioned here at the beginning. I've got some restaurant events here, over 100 registrants. The number on the right is buying units, and the number on the left, or the guest number, is how many registrants. So, like you'll see down there, we have the movie cinema had 213 registrants, 128 buying units sign up. But we've had dinner seminars that have cleared triple digits as well. You'll also notice that I've got 2 educational events here. So an event at an art museum, an event at a library that also cleared 100 registrants. So that's exciting for me too, to see people that are interested in educational events signing up for our pieces as well. It used to be, dinner seminars would perform about 30 to 40% better. I'm actually showing better with educational events as well. So kudos to that, but a good dinner seminar is still gonna draw very, very well. So, whatever you're comfortable with. I have advisors that love the dinner seminar venues. I have advisors that love the teaching educational piece. Stick with your strength, go with it, and we can provide leads for it either way there. Essentially, what's next? You go to safemoneyevents.com. That's our website. You pick your campaign type. The site kind of looks like this. So if you go to event generation, it'll look like this. So Safe Money Dinner Event Seminar. If you scroll down, you'll see the educational events. And if you scroll down even further, you'll see the movie events. Essentially, you're going to pick your campaign type, watch the video. It guides you through the process, because when you watch the video, you're going to learn, pick the package. You're going to learn that you need to be ready to sign up then and there. So name, email, phone, company name and website, the event type that you're picking, how many dates, picking a topic, presenter name and details. Do not forget your disclosures at this point. And if you need us to, we can send you kind of a packet with some ad copy that we use, the registration page and the thank you page. So you can send that to your RIA if you need to, your headshot, your logo. You review it, you pay as you go into it. This is very important because we're starting right away. So that $24.99 is due before you can click submit. So that gets us ready to get started. And then we're good to go after that. If you have done an event with us in the past, you can skip a lot of these pieces and just say, I've already done an event with you. But I do want people to at least address that, if something's changed, to kind of go through that and spend some time with that. So really simple. This gets my team started. This is kind of like the big, like the turnaround piece that we need. And we go and we start moving from there. So like I said, here's where you go. So safemoneyevents.com/event generation. If you go to the safemoneyevents.com, just go down a little bit and you'll see like all of our services there, and you click on event or seminar events, and then you can start this process right there. If there's videos to help you through the process, or if you need to talk to me, my email is just clifford@safemoneyevents.com, and I'll answer those emails as fast as I can. Okay, that's all I got for you today. Curtis, are you ready to, can you jump back on?
Yeah, I am still on here. So great presentation. So I think what I want to do now is I want to launch the final poll, and then I got a couple of questions that I'll pepper you with here. So let me go ahead and get this
Great.
launched. So first question was so lead up time. So if somebody's thinking about doing this, like how far out in the future do they need to think about when that event should be?
So if it's their first event, I'd like to get, 5 to 6 weeks to get, kind of that leadway to get my team all set up. And if you have RIA stuff and that kind of piece, how do we get those done for you? So 5 to 6 weeks for the first one. If you've done an event with us and you just, want to, or you do it again, I ask to get like 4 weeks. I can do 3 weeks. The reason I asked for that kind of lead time is what I got data points that will point all over us. I see data surges Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I like to have 2 to 3 weekends before your event to do lead generation those weekends, because that's kind of when the event generation get the most traffic, and we spend the most money is those weekends, and we get the most registrants. So I like to get 3 weekends before an event.
Okay. Another question I had was, so you put the presentations that are available to the agents up on the screen. One question was, do we have survey forms that we provide as well, or do they need to come up with that on their own?
Those are available. The IAMS team has created some just traditional survey handout forms as well. But so yeah, just remind me that you need those. And then if you give us enough time, Jacob and his team and Curtis and all those they'll customize them for you. If it's a logo or if it's your name, or your phone number, those kind of pieces, they can go ahead and do those pieces for you.
Yeah, and I'll add on to that question too. I mean, as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, we've got a really talented team here, and so that's a common thing that we're seeing where somebody is wanting to customize the presentation or on the survey forms that we have, doing some customization there. I mean, that's certainly something that we're capable of doing and have available for the advisors. Um, Another question I had pop up was, is there times that are better for doing seminars throughout the year? Are there times to avoid for doing seminars throughout the course of the year?
Um, so not really. It kind of, oh, well, seasonality is definitely in question. You don't really want to do anything around Christmas, Thanksgiving, but there is a nice sweet spot 2 weeks in the middle between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Really don't want to do anything at the beginning of the year. Um, the whole thing is
When you say
the
beginning of the year, you're meaning like the first, maybe like
two
first half
two
of
weeks of the
January or something.
yeah, the
Yeah.
first 2 weeks of January. And I do find that some locations, not all locations, have kind of a drop off in the summer, but that's not everywhere. But the advisors that I've been talking to them about getting events March, April, May, June, through the end of June, maybe taking July and the first part of August off just because of seasonality, and then hitting it hard, the beginning of September, or, the end of August, beginning of September. Avoid that holiday in the middle of there, and then October, November, and planning out your year. That's the biggest part, right? So we kind of see accordions happening here. People have success with it, and I get it. You don't know me, and I'm taking your money, and like, is this going to work? All of those questions, I get it. So I get that people are kind of hesitant to fork over 10 grand to plan four events out, but it behooves you to at least have those events planned out, getting in touch with your event space or the movie theaters or the restaurants that you want to work with, and getting those dates down. Because what happens is you kind of accordion. So like, you'll have an event, you'll be really busy, and then you'll get to the end of those appointments, and then you're like, crap, I got a plan of another event. And what the top advisors that I work with are doing events every month, or they're doing events every 2 weeks, or they're doing events every 2 months. They've got a schedule that they stick to, and they go from there. So definitely planning those pieces out. If we look at the number sheets, we've had success with educational events in the afternoon, or I mean in the evening. We've also had a success with like lunch and learn events at 12 o'clock. And then we've had success with evening events from that. I usually say pick a Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Wednesdays are all right. Avoid Fridays. Every now and then, if you have the right event on a Saturday, you might be able to pull like an educational event, but I tend to stick away from those. But those are the kind of pieces, those are the kind of timing that I would look for. A lot of advisors do one event with us, so maybe a Tuesday. But what we consider a campaign, a marketing campaign, is 2 nights. So if you want to do a Tuesday, Thursday, that's fine with us. It's all one price. We just need to know ahead of time what those 2 dates are. So if you get an education room, and what we see there is kind of a disparagement between whatever the first option is and the second option on the drop down. So like usually the Tuesdays outperform Thursdays, but I think that's more due to the Tuesday is the first one listed on the drop down in the registration form. So so it's just a matter of what the definition of a campaign is and how many dates you can go from there. Is that, I think I answered like 4 different questions there. So
No, I think that was good. That was I think you covered exactly what the question was, and add some more value in there as well. So I'm going to close down this final poll. Just to wrap things up, so one, Clifford, I appreciate you taking some time being with us today, and for all of those of you in attendance, I appreciate you taking some time as well. We are seeing some really good numbers on these events, and going back to one thing I'd mentioned at the beginning of the presentation is growth and consistency. And you've got to have consistent marketing if you're going to generate a consistent flow of prospects, which then leads to a consistent flow of appointments. And then ultimately, the net effect of that is consistent revenue, and really being able to manage those peaks and valleys that I think sometimes we see throughout the course of the year. And so Save Money, not only do we have a lot of resources with that right now, but as Clifford mentioned, we've got some really exciting things on the way as we keep going forward into the year. So don't miss out on an opportunity. It's the beginning of the second quarter. It's a great opportunity to be doing this type of marketing. We're seeing amazing results. So reach out, get registered. If you've got questions, reach out, talk to Clifford or talk to a sales director over here at IAMS. We're happy to help you and appreciate everybody taking the time to be with us today. Thank you.
thank you.